yeah, like what you were saying, like you do have options. It's just like, what are you looking for and stuff like that.
I don't think it depends on the quality of men either. Like when we look at these high earner men, like a whole lot of them have been taken on women who already had children. And so, like, I don't think your income, your status, or any of that stuff takes any sort of factor. I think it really is, and I know how the internet works. Russell Wilson is not the only example. There are a multitude of them. There are high earning, high quality men that don't have a problem with it. And so saying that a woman doesn't have options because she's gone this route, I think is absurd.
It sounds good, but grandparents are raising the kids of single moms. Also, back on the stepdaddy market. After Kevin, the market is dry. Time to adapt.
They did whatever they
Thank you
said.
guys.
Hit a point about that whole Kevin Samuels is influencing the whole high value men, that thing. That's what I mean when I was saying earlier about like asking guys if what's more accepted in their eyes. They
That's
are
what they
being
said on my
fed that
TikTok.
narrative, and they are going with that. They are
Going with what?
like that whole, I would
They
rather date a woman who was
a
divorced,
widow or
a widowed, um anything under the laws or whatever of marriage versus someone that was even engaged or in a whatever.
it's
Oh,
just a lot of men. They don't want to deal with like mothers not knowing how to. It's a lot of mothers that just don't know how to parent their kids, and the man come in and some of the kids disrespect them. They say that they don't like to deal with things like that. That's what they were saying on the TikTok. But I just feel like I just hate how men say that all the grandparents raising the kids of the single mothers. Not every mother wants to go out to the club. Not every mother wants to do these things. You have mothers that just actually being mothers and sacrificing it all. Like every mother is not a live-in deadbeat mom, because there's a lot of those. We know that. We know a lot of moms is not feeding their kids. They just drop their kids off with anybody. It's a lot of moms like that, but I'm not.
I'm just curious about the whole market as dry comment. Like this, is that insinuating that a woman doesn't have options? Like, because regardless of what somebody's personal feelings are, there's always, and we all know this as women, there is
Except,
always some man somewhere that is okay with something another man is not. Right?
let me
If
just say
you are
this.
not, like, if you are not somebody who wants to be a stepdad, who wants to take on somebody, which, like, I, that's great for you. I hope that you get what you're looking for, but it's almost like there's like this shame thing where like men have to be on this code, and if we don't all like the same thing, like, it's okay if you don't want it for yourself, but if another man is okay with that, I don't see what the point of telling women, like, instead of telling women find you a man that's okay with taking on your children, we're saying you don't have options. Like, I think
And
that,
that's just not true. Trust
no,
me.
and it's weird.
Honey, we know that's not true. But the thing, it's so crazy to me because for I think that people forget that there's a whole market of men who don't even want more children. They know to be with a woman who doesn't have kids means I have to have more kids. And I've already had my kids, just like you have your kids, and we come together and like, look, like we have a blended family together. Or we, I mean, I guess it depends on where you are. I haven't run into that. I see it on the internet a lot, but the reality is I don't see that in real life at all. That's just me, though. I don't know what
I'll
everybody else.
also say it depends on the quality of man that you're looking
Oh,
for.
I have high quality.
No. I was saying like to I forgot her. She's right. Not you, but the other.
Me?
Inaz.
Yes, what you were saying about the options thing. I think that it depends on like um yeah, like what you were saying, like you do have options. It's just like what are you looking for and stuff like that.
I don't think it depends on the quality of men either. Like when we look at these high earner men, like a whole lot of them have been taken on women who already had children. And so, like, I don't think your income, your status, or any of that stuff takes any sort of factor. I think it really is, and I know how the internet works. Russell Wilson is not the only example. There are a multitude of them. there are high earning, high quality men that don't have a problem with it. And so saying that a woman doesn't have options because she's gone this route, I think is absurd.
I have to push back on that. Not to say that she doesn't have options, but there is a level in terms of her options are limited. Like when you look at both and you compare a single woman with no kids versus a single woman with kids, and let's say in terms of looks and everything else, they're on the same scale. 9 times out of 10, you are going to have that man that's going to choose the woman that doesn't have kids, because having children comes with an additional set of responsibilities outside of just having a relationship.
Another
And
relationship.
so, it's not to say that you won't ever be able to find a mate. Like my uncle, like all of his marriages, he's been married 3 times. And in every single one of those marriages, the woman had children. So that wasn't an issue for him. But for some other men, that is an issue. So does it mean that you're not ever going to find anybody? No, but may it take a little longer than somebody else without kids? It's possible. But I understand what you're saying in terms of the narrative of trying to make women think that you just need to go ahead and take whatever you want because you have children, when that's not necessarily the case. But your options are going to be somewhat limited when compared to those who don't have any children at all.
And I want to say too, I think the emphasis is whether you are in your life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for me, I'm 44. It's not hard to find men who've been there and done that, because I'm not dating the 35-year-old, the guy who has no kids and he's got, I'm dating the 50-year-old guy who has kids, maybe even a grandkid.
Damn good, by the way.
Thank you. And he has a great profession. And he is a high value man, and so we have things in common. We are looking for more of a companionship. We're not looking to start a legacy over again. Maybe he's a widow or maybe he's divorced, so those are people are forgetting there are men who are in different times in their life. They're different paths and they've already experienced certain things and they're just not looking for that. And to the person who was saying, you're looking for somebody to date and not to marry. No, sir. I don't deal with those type of people. I think that that's a type of man. And I think that I'm trying. I don't want to say things, but I don't want to be rude or to be. I gotta watch my mouth. Okay, let me just shut up. Okay, it's a certain type of man. There are men who will do you that way, and then there are men who are respectable men, and they want to honestly date you with intention. There are men who do that. Believe it or not, I know we have tons of men who are like, oh, they're all dogs. That's not true at all.
So I just think it's really funny that like sometimes like a lot of men will see a single mother and feel like the single mom is looking for a daddy for her kid. No, baby. Sometimes we need a zaddy for mama. Okay. So I'm gonna need them to stop jumping to conclusions with that. I just had to throw that little humor in there because that's why a lot of guys run away from the whole idea. Think that a single mom is looking for a dad or a person to take on her responsibilities and this, that, and the next. No, that's not always the case. Like, it's not. So just had to poke fun at that really quickly.